there! Today I'm going to walk you through creating a weekly listing report website for your sellers. Let's get started. If this is your first time visiting my channel, my name is Carrie Jonikis and I am the owner and a transaction manager at Amplify Transaction Services. If you would like to find out more information about how we can help you, you can visit our website at www.amplifiedtransactions.com. I'm going to walk you through the technical aspects of setting up the Google site for your weekly listing report for your sellers. One thing to note is that you can customize this to your liking. So you may have more or less statistics or more or less that you prefer to show your clients. Let's get started. Okay, I am going to tell you how to create a Google site that will allow you to have one place for all the information so your sellers can come for updated information once a week. So the first step is to navigate to sites.google.com. You'll then come to a page like this. If you're not already logged in to your Google account, you will need to do that. If you do not have a Google account, you will need to have one in order to create a Google site. You'll then click blank site and it will open up a brand new page. For the sake of this video, I'm actually not going to go through one by one and adding the information, but I will show you how to do it from one that is already completed. So you can move forward, but I'm going to go back and come here. So the first step will be to naming your site. So that will be here. You want to create a name for it. You can do it the seller's last name. You can do it the property address, whatever you want to make it. I would recommend it either be the address or the seller's name, because that's what the name of the site will be. And then after you do that, you'll want to title it. You can title it Seller Weekly Report. You could title it Marketing Report. Whatever you want to call it is fine. And then I always put the address underneath whatever my title is. If you want to, you can change this background. So maybe you want to put an image of the house back here instead, or your logo for your brokerage could go there. Whatever you want to do is fine. And then the next step is to put some text in here. So to kind of tell them what this information is. On your screen, you'll have a blank white screen. You're going to double click in the white area, which will bring this circle open. And you'll click on this text, which will open up this text box here. On mine, I just said, hi there, this is the marketing report for your property at 123 Main Street. Our commitment to excellent customer service starts with fulfilling our commitment to track and generate reports for your home. This is a commitment that we have made during the listing process. Here is our update with regards to your property's performance with the marketing we have done so far. Please let us know if you have any questions or concerns. We are here to serve you. And then the next section, I like having a photo and then some text because it helps to break things up. You certainly don't have to put in the photo if you just want to put in the text. And you could put some text here, some text here. Whatever you want to do is completely fine. There's different content blocks that you can choose from. So you can do, two content blocks here, one with a picture and then the information below. So maybe you want to do, how is your listing doing? And then down here where it says your competition, maybe you want to put those together, just as an example. But I chose to do it like this because I feel like it just flows really nicely. But, you have so many different options of what you can do inside of here. So to get it like this, you're going to come over to the right-hand side where it says content blocks, and you're going to take and you're going to drag or click, and it will add a content block. I'm actually going to delete this because I don't want another one. And then it'll put that content block there. Now, if for some reason, like you're creating and you're like, oh my gosh, I really don't want, I want the open house one to be first. You can take and you can drag it up and it'll move it first. So, you can put them in whatever order you want, even if you entered them differently, you can certainly change those. So then I just say, how is your listing doing? We're live on the market as of X day. We've been on the market for how many days? You're currently priced at X. And then I go along and I move on to open house and showing feedback. Now, your client may be getting showing feedback every single time we use showing time or whatever tool you might be using in your market. Showing time is great because you can have feedback automatically sent to the client. Some agents don't like that. They want to be able to, discuss that with their client. But I still think even if it was sending to them, as soon as it happens, as soon as the client or the agent fills out the form on showing time with their feedback, it's great that it sends to them right away. But later, emails get lost all the time. And so that's why it's nice where they can go to one spot and be like, okay, wait, what was the feedback on, Sunday? I remember there was some feedback, but I can't find the email. Well, they have it on, this website now. So I like to put the open house up at the top. That way they can see how many open houses we've done, the dates that we did them, the times that we did them. And you can always even put feedback from the open house. Or if you have a broker's tour, you can put broker's tour and then feedback from the broker's tour, which is really nice. And then the next section, I chose to have this collapsible group. And that is down here. So you would take and drag that into your field. And what this is because there's so much information here, I chose to have a collapsible group. So I don't have to have all of that information because it doesn't, as you see, it doesn't all fit on my screen all at once. And so there's a lot of scrolling that has to be done. And so like visually, when you're looking at it, it doesn't look really great because there's all that information. If you don't like the collapsible view and you just want it all there, again, you would choose the content block and move it over. And what I put under activity from the MLS data is how many property matches, and then an explanation. How many times your home was pinged as a possible match for a buyer. Online MLS views, how many views there were. How many times your home has been viewed by prospective buyers. And then recent activity. How many times your home has been viewed via the MLS in the last 14 days. You can change this to in the last 7 days. And then favorites. How many times a prospective buyer favorited your property on the MLS? How many agent views were there? So how many times has an agent viewed the property through the MLS? I like having these extra descriptions underneath because, you say agent views and they might say, well, what is that for? You always want to try to answer a question before they can even possibly ask it. Give them the information at their fingertips so there's less questions later, which makes your job easier and then also provides an excellent experience for your clients. And then I go into the statistics that we have for websites like Realtor.com and Zillow. What does that look like? Something to keep in mind is that if you have other websites, maybe you have your own website where there's, stats that you can put in here. Add those in. As much as you can give the sellers to show them how their listing is performing is really important because if you ever need to have a conversation with them about changing the price or doing anything additional marketing wise that maybe that they really didn't want to do, but now maybe they'll consider because, looking at what their statistics look like, that may help in that conversation. And then at the bottom, I have the competition. So the number of properties as competition, number of properties listed since we listed yours, number of pending, sold comparables, and the average days on market. And of course, you can add other information underneath if you want. You can put your branding information for your name, your phone number, all of those things can go at the bottom to help just kind of personalize it to you and to the client. And if there's anything else specific that you want to share with the client, this would be a great place to do it. Again, it's about having one spot for the client to be able to go to make things seamless. So they're not looking in their inbox for all these emails that you might be sending. Now, going on the emails, I do recommend that you send an email once a week and let them know that you have updated the site after you've updated, of course. Now, what you can do is you can send an automated email. It's basically going to be the same email sent every single week at a specific time, as long as you are absolutely sure that you're putting into your calendar to update their weekly report. If you have an admin, making sure that they're updating this on the report on that day. So that way, when that email goes out and the client gets it, they can then go to the site and know that updates have been made to their site and there's new information for them to review. Now, if you do not like doing this part of this, of course, we're here to help you with that. But I would definitely recommend sending out that weekly email and then making sure that you are updating the information on the site every single week. And then once you are all done with the design of it, you'll want to hit publish. It'll then give you an address for the site. So we'll go ahead and hit publish now. And then this is what it says for the web address, because again, I chose the address to be the property website. Now it says you can get a custom domain if you want, like www.yourdomain, but that would cost money. So this is free. You can just have it be the website or be the address of the property. I think that works fine. So I'm going to hit publish. And now the site is published. Now you can get a copy of the link. So you would copy it here and then I can paste it here so you can see what that looks like. So when your seller looks at the report, this is what they're going to see. And that way you can see, like, you know, once you make your edits, if you want to hit publish and then see what it looks like, you can go to the site and be like, oh, okay, this is what it looks like for my client. That way, sometimes when you're looking at it on this screen, it's like, oh, it looks great. And then you look on, you know, what they're actually going to see and you don't like the way it looks. So you want to check that. And then one more thing to add before we move any further is to check the settings. So you want to check the settings for your before you send this out. Actually, no, it's not on this. I apologize. On here. When you are, before you're going to share this with your client, you want to make sure that this is settings for this. And pretty much any Google document or anything in Google, there's always a way to either restrict or give access or only people that are added to this. I recommend you keep it as restricted. When you first add it, it might keep it as public, and then that would mean that anyone on the internet could find this, and you don't want that. So you want to make sure that you hit restricted. And then I recommend adding the parties to this site. So you want to add your client to the site. And so like you would just type their address here and then click enter. And then you can have it, you can choose to have it email them and let them know, hey, you've been added to this site, or you can just say, no, you don't want it to be sent to them. And you just copy the site link and then you email them and let them know that that they'll have access to this website. You're going to be updating it weekly. And again, you can update it on, say a Monday, and then, maybe give them a call on Tuesday or Wednesday to talk about what is on the report. I don't recommend you just sending this and then, you review it and then you just let me know if you have any questions. I think you should, as far as providing an amplified experience to your clients, it would be really great if you would, send this information out and then give them a call and talk about it and say, hey, do you have any questions? Here's what, did you have a chance to review it? And if they didn't, then just say, okay, once you have a chance to review it, how about I'll give you a call back, in 2 days. Will that work for you? And then give them a time. You want to give them time to review it, but you also don't want to wait and then get to the weekend and then you're getting bombarded with phone calls about your reports. Like, what does this mean? What does this mean? Why are we only having this many views? Those types of things. So you want to be careful about when you're sharing and how your follow-up is, because again, you want to provide that amplified experience to your clients. And then you also want to make sure that you're giving them the time that they deserve. And if you're super busy in showings on a weekend, you might not get back to them as fast as maybe they would like. So making sure that you are keeping that in mind when you are sending out these reports. Well, there you have it. That's how to create a weekly listing report for your sellers. I hope this information was helpful for you. If you prefer to not handle the technical aspects of your business, we would love to help you get this set up. You can call or text me at 815-293-7701 or email me at info@amplifiedtransactions.com. Thanks so much for stopping by, and if you want to stay in the loop with all the cool stuff we're doing here, make sure to ring that notification bell. It's like our secret handshake, but digital. I'll see you on the next one. 815-293-7701. You can also call me at that number or by email at info@amplifiedtransactions.com.